And while you have to pull this little switch down like this to pull the trigger. And it's very easy to do. And you can adjust this saw by loosening up this catch right here and just pull on it. And here's where you put in the chain oil. Now, and this chainsaw, ever since I got it, it was leaking oil. If you lay it on its side, it'll leak oil. And as you can see here, there's the oil gauge. You'll always check that thing while you every 10-15 minutes when you're, of course with this one, I used it yesterday for about an hour, and still got plenty of oil in it. But I don't know how far it is up to the top from here. But the sight there shows still got plenty of oil. So, but they say the way to keep it from leaking, you may be able to keep it from leaking by when you lay it down to just crack the lid on the oil tube. But I don't know if it'll work on this one. Now what I want to tell you is don't let this chain get too loose, because this one jumped the track on me the other day, and I had to take it apart. Well, it's easy to take apart, it ain't easy to put back together. So because when you put it back together, when you start to put it back together, it's hard to hold this bar and chain in place to put this cover back on. Now, if you got somebody to help you, it wouldn't be hard. But it kind of took me a lot longer than it should have to put it back on. And so far, that's one of my only complaints about this saw, because it does a good job. So all we have to do now this is a little bit looser than I like it right there. So the way to tighten it up is to undo this bolt. That comes with the Allen wrench. To undo this bolt, get it a little bit loose. And we'll put the camera over here. And we loosen it up. Okay. It's a little bit loose there. So you have a screw right here in front. And you put your little Allen wrench in here. I'll see what the problem is. I got sawdust stuck in there. And that's another thing, is it's a good idea to take his cover off once in a while. But don't take the chain off, just take the cover off and clean the inside. And because this grease and sawdust gets all up, caked all in here. So every few times you use it, you should loosen that thing up and clean out all that gunk in there. Well, there's a bunch of it in here. So let's see if I can get to that thing now. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. That's about good enough there, I think. So now we'll tighten her back up. Well, these things do a real good job. You can reach way up in them, way up there in the trees. You can turn that chain there, or you can turn that chain with your hand. It's not too tight. So now I'll check his oil and see just how much I used there yesterday. And now I used only a bit. This thing don't use much oil, but it keeps that oil. It keeps plenty of oil on the chain. And I suspect if your oil flow is not right, you'll probably notice it being hard to cut, maybe even smoking a little bit. So if you notice them things, you should check it to make sure it's getting enough oil. As long as you can feel oil on that chain, you're okay. Now here's my Husqvarna, and they're a real great little chainsaw. And very easy to keep everything up on these. But I let somebody use it one time, they got a little bit out of whack, and it's now sometimes hard to crank. But I found out that if you like, here is the choke here on it. If you pull this choke out, that pushes this, that puts the, raise that little switch thing there, and then you can hold it down and pull your rope. And I found out that on this one, that you pull on the rope until you hear it start to catch, and then you push the choke back in, and it should crank 2 or 3 times in. So that's the nature of this one right now. A lot of them crank the first time you pull on them. And the gas, you gotta mix that oil with the gas. I think it's the best thing to do is just mix up a gallon of gas with, I think, it's an ounce of oil, or whatever it says on the thing, on the can, and put it in there. And there's the bar chain oil. Just fill that up. And on this, I've got chain nice and tight right now. But I've got this real gunky here, sawdust and oil on it. Of course, this thing here is easy to take on and off. Same thing applies here. Take his cover off every once in a while and clean it out around there, and just loosen up, take these 2 nuts off, and the thing comes right off. And to tighten the chainsaw, the chain, there's a nut here, and you just loosen up these 2 bolts, put your screwdriver in there, and turn it to the right till you get it to the right length. And when you're cranking on it, there's a little button here that pops out every once in a while. You have to make sure it's in before it will crank. So every time you pull on the rope, just make sure that thing don't pop out. I don't know if they all do, but on this one, you might pull on it 2 or 3 times. I think it's some kind of compression thing, and it will pop out. And then you can't pull on the rope. So, and this has been a great little chainsaw. But in my opinion, you don't own out your tools no more than you really have to. Just want to cut a few little limbs. This is things you use. But you could, if it's more than 1 or 2, it'd be way better to get out your chainsaw.